Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the PC Elitists. My name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd.
And today we're discussing an article on IGN titled
Are consoles dead?
Dead?
Dead, they say. Are they dead?
Not yet.
Not yet. And apparently this question is just friggin' ridiculous,
Right.
according to IGN. I agree. They're not dead.
Well-
Will they be dead? Separate question.
We already predicted they will. I did.
You did.
I said it.
We will post the link to the article, and we please do invite you to read it, as we do whenever we discuss an article, because we'd like, if you want, go ahead and pause this, read the article, and then listen to us so you can assess point by point whether or not you agree with us. Whatever order you want to do it, that's fine, but please, before you comment, read the article so at least we're on the same page.
Right. So the article opens up with just some financial numbers about Sony and PlayStation and the immense risk they kind of pose by coming out with a new console.
Yeah, they've lost, according to this article, between the two of them have lost $10 billion since 2000.
Right.
Which is a lot of money. And we're talking about a $20 to $30 billion a year industry, which is gaming. And not all of that is being split among these two companies, but clearly they have the lion's share of the market.
Right. And
Console market.
you would have to think, I mean, anyone who wants to be intellectually honest about what's going on, people right now are kind of begging for a new console.
Especially from Microsoft.
10 years is a long time. You have a 10-year-old phone like I do.
Yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus.
No.
It's almost a rotary cell phone.
Here's a 10-year-old cell phone. Use that.
Sure, it'll make calls.
Right.
It might even text message. But really?
Yeah, seriously. 10 years is a long time for technology, and everyone is relying on this 10-year lifespan. But we're, 7 years in, 8 years in, and
Yeah,
people...
I think 360 was 2004, right?
2000,
in the eighth year in.
Yeah, and people are screaming for new consoles. And even then, when that's happening, Sony and Microsoft kind of scratch their head like, I don't know if it's a good idea. It might cost us a lot of money.
There are no plans for either of them to show a new machine at E3 this year. I mean, we hear rumors. Someone commented recently on one of our videos, oh, the next Microsoft console is 2015. They're all rumors at this point.
Right.
Even if you work for those companies, you can't say for sure.
Right.
It's like a Blizzard game in development. You never know when the hell it's going to come out.
And they keep saying, the rumors fly around, but they keep saying, yeah, we don't have it. We're not talking about
exactly.
that right
Even if the rumors are true, 2015 is 11 years for the 360.
That's a long time. So even with people screaming, bring us a new console, they're hesitant. Well, why are they hesitant? Because there's so many factors going on right now with the different platforms that exist to people. PC gaming is in a renaissance. You called that one.
I called it right before Maximum PC stole that phrase.
You named that one.
I did.
You said it's a renaissance, and then they stole it.
And yeah, I'm not inventing a new word for it. Renaissance is an appropriate word, so I can't claim that no one else in the world could have ever thought of it.
Right.
But the fact that I said it before one of my favorite magazines.
Yeah. Well, the fact that we were saying this before, too.
That's true.
Gives me a little warmth in my heart. But anyway, so they have online platforms that they have to deal with where Steam is exploding and Origin is exploding and good old gaming and all that stuff is exploding. So PC gaming is on the rise. And Apple is now a contender. Accidentally, almost.
Yeah. And this is something that the consoles have never had to deal with. I mean, as the article mentions, about a third of the way down, in 2000, Apple was still about a year away from launching the iPod, which would go on to kind of change entertainment in a way that they really couldn't have seen. Facebook wasn't around, free-to-play game. These are all things mentioned in the article. Facebook didn't exist. That's quote, free-to-play made 0 sense. PC gaming was screwed. Yeah, you can shove it. That's not in the article. So the assumptions and projections, as the article says, Sony and Microsoft were making back then just don't exist anymore. And that's true, but I think one of the reasons you're not seeing definitive plans come out of either of these companies for the next console is this is a landscape they have not had to traverse before.
Right.
So look at how even mobile gaming, I remember when Farmville first came out, it was like, I hear people talk about this game, before Angry Birds. The last couple of years have seen such amazing changes in social and mobile gaming. It's hard to make a decision now on what your console should and will look like in 2014 or 2015.
Right. It was very obvious, demographics before. Where do people play video games? At the miniature golf course and at home.
Yeah, in the arcade and at home.
That's it. And then Nintendo came out with the Game Boy and the Game Gear came out.
Yeah, but then House of the Dead 2 got taken out of the arcade and I stopped going.
But now the landscape is really different. I mean, people are playing on Facebook. People are playing on their computers more. People are playing on their phones, on their tablets.
With only their thumbs.
With only... Yeah.
Can't get much more simple than that.
Right. Or a digital controller on the pad.
Yeah, that's true.
Even Nintendo with their Wii U is copying the whole tablet style. They're the ones that are saying, you know what, this whole high expense graphics monster, we're not going to do that. And I think PlayStation and Xbox, I don't think they want to do that either. They don't want to spend all this money on hardware when it's not going to get the return. It's extremely expensive. Sony loses money at least when they first came out. They lost money on every sale. They lost money just to get that system out there.
Yeah, because if they were expecting it to have a 7 to 10 year lifespan, they'll take the loss now in the hopes that you'll buy 10, 20, 30 games from them in the future. Maybe not from them, but you'll contribute to the industry.
Right. Well, you have to remember, always keep in mind, if they release a console now in the price bracket they want to, they have to be prepared to lose money for a while.
Yeah.
Which, if they haven't made their money back yet, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, and Microsoft and Sony are just now starting to see ROI, return on investment, on a lot of these consoles being pushed out there. Just now.
Right.
And people were saying, at $400, $500, $600 a pop, how are they not making money hand over fist? Because people would say, and this is what people don't really understand about R&D in general. Yes, the cost of the individual components of an Xbox, it's plastic and metal and some circuitry. Yes, that itself is not expensive, but what you're paying for are the months and years of development that it took to refine that machine.
And advertising.
Yeah.
And
that's why they refer to NASA's $20,000 hammer, $30,000 toilet seat.
It's oftentimes, it's not a gradual increase in funds, because when they announce the new machine, the old machine's sales drop.
Drastically.
And
you're even seeing it now with no machine announced. Who is really buying a 360 for the first time anymore?
Right. Maybe for the third time.
Yeah, if they're buying it, it's refurbished.
Right.
So that's not really new money.
Oh, and something that the rumors are about the new consoles, any rumors that exist about Xbox 360, the 720 or whatever they're calling it, is that they're trying to figure out ways either to be solely digital download systems, or that once you put a disc in and play it, it's registered to your system, and that's it.
That's you hate DRM. How about that shit?
Right. Right.
You like playing FIFA on your 360, you want to take it, or on your 720, you want to take it to your friend's house so he can play it? Nope.
Right.
If that is a feature that's
included, if that is a feature, again, all these things are just rumors because Microsoft and Sony aren't saying nothing.
And even as the article admits, these are smart companies. Well, no, personification. Smart people leading these companies.
Right.
They are, I believe, that the primary reason they're not making this decision is the industry has been, as I've said before, changing so fast that they can't predict what it's going to look like in 2-3 years. Right. So it's more of a wait and see, and then try and push something together as fast as you can in a short window, and then push it out, which we've seen at least when you try to make a game that way. How does that work out for you?
Well,
though making games and consoles are very different.
I'm a CEO of, I'm sitting there thinking, like, should we make a whole new advertising campaign and new hardware, invest billions of dollars for the people who are buying Call of Duty 9? And just keep buying the same thing? Why am I going to invest all this money when these people obviously don't care? And
That's
will just
true.
Buy.
You look at the sales of Call of Duty, and you talk about how it's best-selling shooter franchise, this, that, and the other, and how it keeps selling year after year. But then you look at all the user reviews. Those same people who are so willing to give you their $60, not counting the DLC that comes out afterwards,
right?
They're so willing to feed you their money so that they then have the right to say, this game is absolute crap, it's the same game every time.
Right.
But if you keep buying it, they'll keep making it.
Right.
So in a capitalist system, if you want to know who to blame the consumer.
Right.
Until you fix it.
And Sony and Microsoft are just making residuals off that.
Yeah.
So why are they going to invest again? They have no motivation, pretty much. They don't have any motivation to do it again. And it shows that by their actions, that they don't have any motivation. Other parts in the article,
There is a section about blaming the economy because you can't deny that the last 3.5 years or so haven't played you can't deny that they have played an incredible role
right.
in it's disposable income. It's dropped from families all over the world, not just in America. So if you have less money to spend on luxuries,
Right.
gaming is among them. And for some people, it's not. They won't pay rent, but they'll buy games.
Well,
And God bless them too.
I don't know if that's quite. IGN points that out, but
It's a factor.
it's a factor.
How big of a
but
factor we?
I was
don't know
on.
for sure.
I looked up Kotaku. I was on their website, and they had a tweet from a Microsoft or a quote. I can't remember where. From one of their execs, we're basically saying we're not really interested in a new system right now because this was actually one of our better years as an Xbox company. As Xbox 360 goes, this is actually one of our better years.
Mm-hmm.
So, economy's bad, but still, they're sitting there going, "Hey, we're doing great." So why are we going to make? Of course, that could be him just blowing smoke.
Yeah, that's
but,
true. And again, the economy, we don't know the exact extent to which it affects the gaming industry. But as an example, you see the drop-off in the subscriptions for World of Warcraft. I doubt that very many of those are, I just can't cost justify the $15 a month anymore.
Right.
I don't really think you're seeing that. I think what you're seeing is people are disappointed in games and in some consoles, and they just refuse to support them anymore because they don't get, especially at $60 a game.
Yeah.
You're not seeing the same value. You're seeing games come out now like Kingdoms of Amalur that we're each playing and we love, but a game like that, as time goes on, you keep wondering how can they adapt this to the console. They have to keep dumbing it down further and further if games are getting more and more advanced in terms of their graphical capabilities. How can you keep dumbing it down on a system that, as the rule of time, keeps getting older and more outdated?
Right.
But I will say this. 360's been around for 7-8 years now. It still looks pretty good. When you talk about the difference between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 and then PS2 to PS3, it's leaps and bounds better. So
Right.
we're not saying that the 360 and the PS3 are outdated machines you should never play. They still look good. They just simply have not, and by virtue of the fact that they can't change, cannot make the same progress that PCs can.
Right. The last, I think, indictment of this whole argument that I think this writer tries to make in this article, that there is hope, finally, he comes down to. He's like, hold on, everyone stop worrying.
Yeah, I've spent this entire article talking about all the challenges facing consoles, but
Right.
wait.
But wait! And this... he basically is saying, hold on, this one guy thinks they're cool, and I do too.
Yeah, there is hope, and by hope I mean there's a pile of crap and I hung a sign on it that says hope. He quotes the founder of Epic, Tim Sweeney, or he paraphrases rather. This is what he says, quote, Epic founder Tim Sweeney, one of the smartest thinkers in this business, described consoles in the simplest terms as perfectly formed for the purpose of playing games. This is the line in which I take most of issue with in the entire article. He's saying consoles are perfectly formed for playing games. No, they are formed solely for the purpose of playing games.
Right.
Not perfectly. Because even as the article states, he says, quote, so if we leave PC gaming aside, consoles will still be the best way to consume games for a span of time, So for the next foreseeable
So he's
10
admitting that
years.
PC is actually the
Yes,
supreme
but,
leader.
so what he's saying in the span of a couple paragraphs is PC is number one, and number two is a game that is perfectly formed to play video games. And the thing that's beating it is something that was not solely formed for the sole purpose of playing games.
So
it's
what
the
he's saying-
everything machine that is kicking this perfect machine's ass.
So what he's saying is, what are consoles? Perfect game machines. What's a PC? It's better than console.
Exactly. He says also of consoles, they are entirely engineered to output fast-moving graphics. That's great, but that's all it can do.
Right.
And that's and you're in a system that is not modular, that cannot be upgraded. What you're saying is it was at this point in time in 2004, it was meant to do that, but as each year goes on, it refuses and cannot and
It
will
does
not
that
improve.
worse.
Yeah,
Every day it's out, it does it worse.
Yeah, comparatively speaking.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think everyone should be invited to go read the article, listen to our musings, and then comment.
True. I think one last thing about the article, and I don't know if this is true, but I hope it's true. I hope IGN sources their material enough. Quote, people talk about the fact that 500 million people have played Angry Birds compared to 25 million players of Call of Duty. 500 million people have played Angry Birds. I don't care who made it. That's brilliant. You can make something that simple. And I think that the PC Elitist is well on its way to 500 million subscribers.
Yes, it is.
I think so.
We're 400 in.
400 in. Got a lot more to go.
Okay. For the PC Elitists, my name is Woodsie.
My name is Shepherd. We are the PC Elitists. Signing out.